Hey guys, this is Dark Skeleton, and today we're taking a look at Tome, the Immortal Arena, a new MOBA game by Kixeye. Now, if you don't already know what a MOBA is a multiplayer online battle arena game. And this one, as many others do, revolve around going into different lanes as a hero called a Guardian. And in those lanes, slaughtering minions and enemy Guardians with your own Guardian's abilities and auto-attacks. Now, the real objective of the game is to destroy your enemy's nexus, and to do that you have to go through their towers first. Like other MOBA games, you want to push to the enemy towers with your minions because they will shoot down your Guardian if he is alone. Likewise, there are minions, speed buffs, and lanterns for vision inside of the jungle. Now, the jungle is essentially any area outside of the base and outside of the lanes where you don't normally have access to. All of the basics I just mentioned should be incredibly familiar to any MOBA player since they all tend to have that same basic setup. Now, one of the things that the game tries to advertise is its differences from other MOBA games. And essentially what they boil down to is this. You can buy items in the middle of the lane instead of having to go all the way back. You don't have to last hit minions since the gold is automatically given to your hero regardless of whether you were the one to kill it or not. If you stay out of combat for more than 4 seconds, you can regenerate a lot of HP just by staying in the lane. The games tend to last a shorter duration than an average League of Legends or Dota 2 game. Mana bars are completely removed, and your Guardian starts with all of their abilities except for their ultimate at the very start of the game. Instead of placing wards in the jungle, you just capture lanterns there. And lastly, the item shopping experience is rather simplistic compared to other games. Now, to quickly touch on the item buying process, this was one of the things I actually found rather boring about the game, because all of the items have the same price. You pay 500 initially to get an item which will buff one of 3 different stats: your might, which is effectively your attack damage, your attack speed, or your total health. From there you can upgrade each of those items into 5 different items, which effectively double the base stats on the item, but then give you a unique effect. Some of the unique effects I noticed were leaving a trail of fire behind you as you walk, all of your spells having the ability to slow your opponent's Guardians down, or after killing enough minions, your hero would temporarily create a free Guardian Archer to combat your enemies. Now, in terms of similarities, I think that this game is incredibly close to another game called Dawngate, which was a MOBA that was being developed by EA. That game also tried removing the mana bar, reduced the laning phase, and stopped the need for last hitting by making it so that you get the gold anyway, and spiced the map up by having 2 lanes instead of 3 for a 5v5 game. Now, when I tried Dawngate, I found it fun and a nice change of pace from other MOBA games, but they decided to end development on that game since it wasn't growing fast enough to successfully compete in the flooded MOBA market. And honestly, I believe that Tome the Immortal Arena is likely to suffer the same fate. Not because it's a bad game, but because it's competing in a market which already has great games that people are so invested in already. Here are some of the things I really like about the game. The Guardians, the UI, and the other art assets look pretty good, and the animations are slick. In the game, you're able to have more skirmishes compared to other games thanks to outside of combat regenerating HP. As with all other MOBA games, it's fun to kick people's butts comboing your abilities together and working with teammates to get a victory. And as a support player in other games, I think it's great that fighting over vision control is important, but you don't have to have one Guardian spend all their money on wards like other games. You just go into the jungle and swing out a lantern a few times, and then bam, you have vision over that area. And here are some of the gripes I have with the game. There are so few items within the game that it basically comes down to, are you a Guardian who takes damage or are you a Guardian who kills people? There's really not much else to it. And although they were trying to eliminate the laning phase, you still do spend the first 5 or 10 minutes basically doing nothing. Unless you already have your ultimate or items, it's hard to kill people unless they're doing something stupid. So a lot of your early game skirmishes basically come down to you trading HP with your opponent and then both of you backing off to get full HP back by regenerating in the lane. So although it's fun to fight, your early battles do feel kinda pointless. And all in all, it's a solid and reasonably fun game, but it really doesn't bring anything to the table that would warrant leaving a game like League of Legends or Dota. Those games are slightly more polished, they've been on the market for a lot longer, they have more champions to choose from, and they already have a community built up. So far, Tome the Immortal Arena just really doesn't do enough to differentiate itself from those games. And that's why I think the game's just going to suffer the same fate as Dawngate did, which I consider to be a slightly better game than this one. Still, maybe you've never played a MOBA before, or maybe League of Legends or Dota are just getting tiring for you. Whatever the case, you could give Tome the Immortal Arena a try, and I think it's a pretty good game. I just don't know if it holds up to the other ones that are more popular. So if you'd like to give it a shot, go ahead and go to kickseye.com, or you can just pick it up straight on Steam. The game is free to play, but does have an in-game currency shop if you want to buy Guardians or other items using real money. I've been Dark Skeleton. I hope you found this review of Tome the Immortal Arena useful, and I'll see you all next time.